I'd like to welcome everyone to today's edition of the Software Spotlight. And joining us today from Content at Scale, we have Steve Harvey. And Content at Scale is based out of here in the US. And Steve is joining us today. So welcome aboard, Steve.
Thank you very much. Very nice to be here, Michael.
Wonderful. We're happy to have you. And AI is a hot topic, and a lot of our listeners have been following Content at Scale, and I know have been looking at the solution for some time, but there are quite a few that are on the fence and thinking, what's this all about and how do we get started? So hopefully we can answer some questions and get people aboard.
Off the fence.
Yeah, so I was hoping you could start out by telling us a little bit about the inspiration behind Content at Scale and how it came to be.
Sure. So I'm speaking here kind of from Justin's perspective. So Justin McGill, who is our CEO and founder. So I'm not sure how far back we're talking here, but I think kind of maybe around about 2008, around about then. Justin
Sure.
actually started his own kind of marketing agency. So he grew this marketing agency into a successful seven-figure business, and I think he took a step back and then exited. So his kind of background is actually in building agencies. So keep that in mind when you're talking about AI writers. Have they just been built by a team of developers who've been funded by VC, or have they actually been built by a team of content marketers, right? And we're very much from a content marketing background. So
And that's a very important distinction, obviously.
yes, it is. It is. And when you've had people who have kind of like walked the walk, you know what you're doing, right? So I think it was kind of back then. He grew his agency and then exited it. I then think he started a new business a few years later, a lead generation business. It was called Lead Fuse, and he grew that into kind of one of the top lead gen platforms out there. And I think Justin still runs that today, or has something to do with it. But that's kind of going there. I think then a couple of years ago, I think it was 2021. Kind of came back. So Content at Scale actually started off as a content agency, right? There was kind of no app to start off with. As far as I'm aware, it actually started off as a content agency. So I think it was kind of a done for you kind of service, openly using AI to provide it. So the
Sure.
tech that they began to build. So that's kind of Justin. It was Josh, our COO, and I believe it was Cameron, our CTO. Them three together. When they started this agency, that's when they started building the app, as far as I know.
Sure.
I'd have to kind of double check on that. And the tool they started building to kind of provide this done for you service eventually became what you know today, Content at Scale or Content at Scale AI. So yeah, we haven't been around kind of that long. I think 2021. So we're just over a year old. And we were one of the very first kind of on the market. And we had this kind of like early movers advantage. There wasn't all these different AI writers out then there is now today. There's dozens of them today, right? And then obviously
Sure.
with ChatGPT coming out, that kind of gave us a boost, because everyone just started to get into AI, or everyone wanted to know about AI. And eventually we kind of we launched as Content at Scale as a software as a service, sunsetted our kind of done for you content offering, and now we're kind of all in on this platform.
So
yeah,
really,
that's kind of a brief history. Yeah.
At a high level, the solution that you created for yourself is really a solution that any other content agency
Right.
would
I mean,
would
talk about
really be thrilled.
validation, right?
Yeah,
So
really exciting. And obviously, it seems like if that was 2021, so literally entering a couple of years of field use and trials and
we were just
development and all of that. So that's really
I
exciting.
don't know how long they were. I don't know how long they were developing it for.
Sure.
Prior to us launching, but we launched. I think it was September 2021. So we're just over a year old, kind of as content at scale. Prior to that, I don't know how long, because I think when they were doing the done for you service, it was called Content Machine or Content Engine or something like that. And I
Sure,
don't
sure.
know how long they were developing that for, but as content at scale, yeah, just over a year.
Yeah, and for a lot of our listeners that are really looking at this from an SEO standpoint, the whole concept of generating high quality, unique content is really key to rankings and generating traffic and
Yeah.
providing a great experience for their visitors. So,
Yes.
uh, and can you tell me overall from a product standpoint, what are some of the details if you were to say, for someone looking at the solution, what really differentiates it from other solutions that are out there that they may be looking at?
Yeah, sure. So, kind of going back to that point, we were built by a team of content marketers. So everything has had kind of SEO at its heart. So we were the first and potentially the only one still. There may be one or two others out right now that focus almost solely on long form SEO optimized content, right? I mean, you look at some of the other ones out there, the really well known ones, such as Jasper, which can be used but isn't. It's more kind of like a generative AI. Um, it's not specialized in long form SEO content, and certainly not specialized in content that ranks, because that's what it's all about, right? I mean, you can produce as much content as you want, but unless that content's ranking, then what good is it? So we were definitely the first one, and probably one of the only ones now that actually specializes and focuses on long form SEO content that ranks and is also human like. And
Sure.
that's kind of one of the key things we're going to be focusing on with next month we have a new release of the app, version 3 of the app. We're really kind of focusing on that human like content, because there's a bunch of AI writers out there that are all competing against each other,
Right.
whereas we feel like we're not competing against them. We feel like we're competing against actual human writers. So that's kind of the difference there. Human like content that ranks. Yeah,
Got it.
if that makes
Now,
sense.
and obviously, I have to say, just obviously, looking from the outside in, when you say ranks, I look at the content at scale site in general, and some of your clients, and no question, hands down, the content ranks. So that is key and
For
proof
sure.
in what you're doing. I mean, a lot of companies out there put out solutions and aim for a purpose, but don't hit the nail on the head. And your team definitely has. So
Yeah.
something very special there.
Yeah, for sure. And you need to look no further than our own website, which is getting a revamp in a couple of weeks very soon. But we are our very own case study. I think in June or July we hit 500,000 uniques for that month, and a DR rating of 71. I think we're 73 or 74 now, and we did that
Sure.
within 6 months.
Yeah,
And
and
our
I have
blog,
to be honest with you. That's what originally attracted me to the solution and why I think it's so exciting.
yeah, when we did that in 6 months, right? And our website, our blog is powered by our own platform. So we are our own case study. So, we've made it work for us, and it's working for our customers too. So yeah.
That's fantastic. So, at a high level, can you tell us how, from a tech standpoint and from a marketing standpoint,
Yeah.
how the solution ensures that the content that's being generated is high quality and unique and all of that? Because I know that's a big question in AI today.
Yeah.
A lot of question marks there.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes, as much as I can anyway, as much as I'm allowed to. And this might
Sure,
answer, one or two of your future questions as well. But, content at scale is kind of at its core, it's a stack of three different AI engines. Okay. So the first one is our very own proprietary engine. We kind of think of it like like the KFC secret recipe, right? That, nobody
sure,
knows what it is, or there's only two people who knows what it is, and they can't be in the same room together at the same time. Not quite that extreme, but yeah, the KFC or the Coca-Cola secret recipe, right? So that's the
sure.
first one. The second one is ChatGPT, and we have a third AI engine as well. And then all three of them are working together. Then we also have two different NLPs, natural language processors, which makes the content human readable or makes the content. Again, a lot of the AI writers out there are simply a fancy front end that makes an API call to ChatGPT, right?
Sure.
Like I said, we've got three different engines, two different NLPs, and a semantic search analyzer. And what this does is it parses the top results on Google, breaks that down, analyzes it, and then writes fresh content that can compete and ranks against it, and in many cases rank above what's already there. So that's kind of like how it works, right? It searches what's working really, really well in Google right now at the top, finds out why those results are at the top, and then rewrites it to be as good or better than what's already there. So that's kind of a key kind of differentiator between us and other AI writers, is that they're just not doing that, right? They pull in stuff from ChatGPT. Okay,
Sure.
it looks good. It might have a high score on an SEO tool, but is it what Google is looking for? Has it been modeled on what's already at the top? And that's one of the key differentiators. The three different AI engines, the NLPs, and the semantic search analyzer. We also, Content at Scale also does a number of unique things, like it puts in links. It puts those links into content. Apologies, that's Slack. I didn't mute it. 1 second.
Sure,
We
no
also
worries.
it creates tables of content, interactive elements, things like social posts inside the content it produces. It basically makes it as human-like as we can, without
Yeah,
having any human intervention. And
sure. And at the end of the day, obviously, anyone that's done any volume of content writing knows that, you know, producing the content is just half the battle. There's obviously a lot of formatting and a lot of other details, like you're talking about right there, including the links and and and
yeah,
other, to get it to the point that it's ready to push live. So
yeah, for sure.
anything,
Yeah,
yeah, and that's huge.
I mean, and if you're a copywriter or you're working for a copywriting agency or you're doing freelancing, okay, I mean that's the dream, right? Because how much time is that going to save you? I mean, fair enough. Okay, you have to write a blog post. When you find in you're doing citations or you find in links or you need to find links to put in, it saves you all that time because we've done it for you. It's already there, and that's a massive time saver. And obviously, if you're a writer, that can augment and enhance your capability. And I want to really say augment and enhance, rather than replace, because that's not what we're about. Yeah,
Sure. And that leads me to my next question. I know you have the craft writing method that Content at
yeah,
Scale
yeah.
promotes. Can you talk a little bit about the craft method and AIO and all of that?
Sure. So AIO was a term coined by our president, Julia McCoy. It's actually become a bit of a buzzword now amongst kind of AI tools and things like that. But we coined it, and craft is kind of her training about how to optimize AI content efficiently. Sorry, I've got the training in front of me now. So we give full training on AIO writing, craft, and even agency training. If you kind of join us as a customer, if you want to start up an agency, we've got certifications for you to do. But craft is essentially CRAFT, and C is for cutting the fluff. R is for optimizing your content for SEO. So review, edit, optimize. A is for images, visuals, and media. F is for fact check, and then T is for trust building with personal stories, tone, and links. So all that kind of fits into Google's EAT, about adding personalization to your content. And the craft framework basically is kind of like a step-by-step guide on how to edit your AI produced content. So let's say you've got your cast produced blog post there. If you want to make that as good as possible, then you or one of your writers or one of your team or what have you can then do the 5 steps for craft on the blog post to make it, as human-like as possible. So that's
So yeah,
kind of like a
so
training framework. Yeah.
from the Content at Scale standpoint, you're producing a piece that's as close to publish worthy ready as possible,
Yeah.
and then a writer is actually molding that piece to the final, get it over the line to the point that it's the best content that's out there.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think Google is very heavily into personal experiences now with writing. At the end of the day, if you've got a travel blog, AI is never going to be able to replicate. Oh, by the way, today I went to this restaurant and I ate this, that kind of thing, right? So, like
Sure.
there are elements that you may want to add into your content. I mean, some people don't edit at all for us, and some people do. But the craft framework is there for you and your team to get the most out of it for sure.
Understood. Well, I
Yeah.
think this would be a great point if you wanted to give our viewers a good overview of the interface and the solution, so they can understand how a piece of content would be created. I know a lot of
Sure.
times, it's theoretical when you're talking about something, but what do they say? A picture is worth 1,000 words, right?
Worth 1,000 words, yeah, for sure. And yeah, I'll give you, I guess, a quick kind of run through now or a sneak peek into the platform. Um, as always, whenever you do kind of like live recordings and stuff, something inevitably goes wrong. I don't know why. And as soon as you do it offline, it's fine. But I've got
Yeah.
my fingers crossed, and I'm praying to the demo gods here. So,
No worries. That's
well,
fine.
I'm just going to share my screen. If you let me know when you can see.
Sure. And a lot, it's interesting. A lot of our listeners listen on Spotify and Apple and other platforms that are audio, and a lot of other listeners are listening on platforms that are visuals. So,
Okay.
it really helps to provide a full level
Yeah,
of
sure. I mean, a
visual.
demo's always good,
So,
right? Yeah.
but yeah, no, we can see your screen there, and it says
Cool, awesome. So yeah, so this is kind of my demo account that I play around with, and sometimes I do demos on or show affiliates kind of like what we can do. This is
sure.
basically a dashboard. So I'm gonna click on projects here. Again, this is going to be quite a quick kind of demo, and let's just say I want to create a project. So a project would essentially be like your website, and then we kind of use that as context for future projects or for future work. So
Sure.
if I say just kind of like a demo here, project name, I'm going to say, um, what's your website name, Michael?
Yeah, so if you want to put in Software Oasis,
Yeah, software
OASIS.
Oasis. Okay. Oops. Oasis.
And I have to say the interface is very clean. Not a
Yeah,
lot of
very very clean. It's all kind of being done. Map out the user journey, try to make it as clean as possible. I can't say too much at the moment if the interface is going to change, but it might look a little different next month to what you're seeing now.
sure.
But similar sort of thing, right? Um, Project name Software Oasis. What would be the URL for that, Michael?
Yep, so the same thing, just softwareoasis.com.
Oasis.com. Okay. And there we go. So the URL is valid. So, we've named our project, we've given it a URL, and this is going to give kind of our engine some context, right? So project context, strongly recommended. So what is this website about? Here's some examples of context I've used before. For example, I did affiliate marketing and I said, learn how to create profitable niche websites. So what would be the context of your website, Michael?
Yeah, so software trends.
Software. Okay, yeah. Discussing software trends. That's pretty cool. Okay. You can be more detailed with this if you want, but I like to keep it simple. And again, a lot of this is kind of experimentation, right?
Yeah,
But
so I mean, one example would be low code software might be a software trend,
yeah, yeah,
or
certainly.
no code software.
Yeah, no code
Same idea there.
software, and that is very big at the moment. Is now even AI software, right?
AI, yeah,
Um,
there you go.
Monthly posts. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point what we put in here, but I would always say if you are powering a blog and you want to get any sort of results, you should be doing minimum 8 posts a month, right? And that's what I recommend. That gives you 2 posts a week, so we'll put 8 in here for now. Obviously, you can do more. And Michael, how do you describe your target audience?
Yep. So it would be, actually, if we go to the homepage here, pretty much B2B would be, it's a software learning hub for small and mid-sized businesses. So
Okay, so yeah. So who reads your blog? I guess sort of technology enthusiasts and
small business owners,
yeah, SMBs. Yeah.
SMBs. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, when I've done this in the past, I've had the website in front of me and I've just kind of copied and pasted from the
Sure.
website. For example, the headline on the website or, the pitch or whatever, the hero might be really good for the project context or, or the
Yeah.
target
Perfect.
audience. So,
Understood. But it
yeah,
gives viewers an idea. Yeah.
yeah, sure. Uh, Language, we'll keep it in US for now. We do have loads of different languages here in Content and Scale. And one of the, I guess, the key points here is that we actually produce the content natively in these other languages, Vietnamese, Arabic, what have you. Okay. It's not an engine that produces in English and then translates. We actually produce the content natively in these other languages. That's another kind of key point.
Understood. And, I see that a lot of agencies in other countries are using the solution as well. So obviously that speaks to the solution from a global
Yep,
standpoint.
loads.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, spoke to someone this week who's using it, using this primarily to get all their English content over to Spanish and vice versa. So, that's a good use case right there. Word count range, we can have less than 750 and up to kind of 3,000 plus, right, which is more of a longer form. But I'm going to keep it as default for now.
So that's a good question right there. So is the content that's created suggested for pillar posts or really more for the actual articles that are being linked out from the pillar posts, or could
Oh,
it be either
you're absolutely fine to use it for
and
both.
either?
Absolutely fine
Okay,
to use it for both. Yeah, yeah, it's no
got it.
problem at all. Yeah, 2 to 3,000 words here. And a tone of voice. So this is okay. So this is really cool. This is really important as well. We have got multiple different kind of voice tones in here, ranging from authoritative, casual, joking, professional, sarcastic, witty. Okay, so we've tried to encompass different moods here, depending on what your audience is. Okay,
So our
um,
audience is more of a casual tone.
yeah, more of a
Yeah,
casual. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
kind of my audience is more of a casual too, I would say. But we've got all these kind of different um, tones in here. We've also got some kind of SEO celebrities voices in here, including our very own Julia. We've got Adam Enfroy and
sure.
Brian Dean from Backlink.io as well. And what we've done, we've
Yeah,
captured their tone of voice.
great.
If you wanted to kind of write an article in their style,
That's fun.
that's fun. But here's kind of where the engine really kind of sets itself apart. Okay, and I'm probably not going to do a demo on this right now because it take a little bit of setting up, but we
Sure.
can do a custom tone of voice. So what we do here with the custom tone of voice is that we feed the engine past articles that
Okay.
you or one of your writers have written, and the engine kind of like over time will learn how to produce articles in that same style. So if you've got a
Oh, that's really
copywriter,
cool.
yes,
Yeah.
it's really, really cool. It's called Unique Voice, and in the same kind of style as them. So that's gold for
So we
copywriters.
could feed the engine maybe 50 or 100 articles that have already been written by writers, and
Oh,
it
I
can.
mean, it wouldn't even need that much. It's just three to start off with.
Wow,
But yeah, and then it would kind of continue in the same vein. It gets better
that's
as
powerful.
time go
Yeah.
along. It's a dream, right, for copywriters who are working for agencies. If they don't want to deviate away from the style of work they've been doing, they can kind of keep exactly the same. So that's perfect. For now, I'm just going to pick the top one, authoritative, just for a demo.
Sure.
Okay. And then we create project. Yeah, unique voice. That's a kind of like a big one for us.
And that would bring me to a good question. That the individuals that are seeing the most benefit of this solution, obviously it can be used by anyone, but is it mostly individual site owners, or is it more agencies that had been crafting content for sites, or who do you see using this solution?
Yeah, it's quite a wide use case, but definitely SEO agencies who kind of want to, I guess, augment and enhance their output. Businesses that are already running who, again, want to kind of increase their output and get more
Sure.
traffic. We've got kind of site owners who own portfolios of sites who want to cut down on the amount of writers they hire, and they see us as a good solution to do that. We've got affiliate marketers. Spending thousands of dollars with us every month, running hundreds of sites themselves just with content at scale. We've got, lots of different case studies and use cases actually on our website. We've got someone, Joe, who started up an agency when he discovered content at scale. He's now doing $200,000 a month in content services using content at scale. And he's one of the case studies on our website. Marcus, who's on YouTube as the affiliate marketing dude. Again, you can see him on our case study section on our website. He's an affiliate marketer. He uses content at scale to power hundreds of different websites. He doesn't even edit any of the content. He just sends it out. And he's he's a 7-figure affiliate. So it's kind of definitely SEO agencies is kind of our main bag. Copywriters or anyone to do with kind of SEO or businesses that need content marketing. Yeah, for sure. So we entered in our context for this project and picked our tone of voice, etc. So we've now been brought to this page. So we've got kind of 3 tabs here: content planner, you plan all your content out for however long, and your keyword research tool, which is going to give you some more kind of insights into the keyword side of things. But for now, I'm going to focus entirely on the AI writer, and I'm going to click write posts, and we can see kind of our settings we put in before here.
Got it. So if you actually had 10 different clients, you could have one project for each client.
One project is essentially one website kind of thing. So
got it. Okay.
Yeah. And here we go, write posts. So we have kind of different options here. Like the bread and butter of content and scale is writing a post via keyword, but we can also analyze a YouTube video, a podcast episode, even a custom audio file, even like a document, like a PDF, or, and this is really cool, an existing blog post URL. So say if you wanted to put your competitor's post into there and have something, you can do that as well. But bread and butter is the keywords. We'll do that.
Okay.
And what keyword do you want to rank for? I've used this one before. How to create an SEO marketing campaign, word count range, and in here you can put some additional context. Okay, talk about how you do X, the benefits, and what to watch for when doing Y. Whenever I add additional context, I keep it kind of brief, right? I find let our engine do the work, and that's kind of like how I do it. So
okay,
what I would do then, you can customize the brief, save it to the content planner, or add some sources. But we click write post now, and it will literally do it in minutes. And when you do it, it'll kind of give you the different stages, what's happening. Okay, research in. Now the NLP is at work. Now we're optimizing, and then you're ready to kind of edit. So I'm going to take you to a project I've done previously.
Sure.
And again, this is content at scale, right? So you can queue up as many of these as you have credits for.
So the additional content, context, would that be, for someone that's familiar with a traditional brief or something like that, some of maybe the key points that you might put into a brief?
Yeah, you might want to put some key points in there that you absolutely want covered.
Not too much, because obviously you want the engine to do its magic and position against what's already out there. So.
Sure. So I'm trying to think of so Matt Wolf's like an AI celebrity, someone who we did a sponsorship with before, and I just simply I took one of his YouTube links from a video I found really interesting, and it was exploring AI in game development. So it generated 2,200 words with an SEO score of 75 right off the bat, which is pretty good, right? This has not been optimized at all. So if I click on the preview.
So is it on a 100-point scale? Is that the...
Yeah, on a 100-point scale, okay. Yeah. Okay. And again, this has not been edited at all. And this talks about some really kind of in-depth game development AI stuff, such as the Unreal Engine. So it's developed this.
So right off the bat, we have an introduction. We have a nice table of contents.
Table of contents. Again, not many, there's not many tools out there that do that. All kind of formatted. The YouTube video in question. Click to tweet here, and it just basically goes on. Again, links, more kind of interactivity, and like I say, We provide
headings,
all the links
everything.
here as well
Yeah.
that go to different articles, more links. And like I say, really, really in-depth references as well, and a conclusion. So you can kind of see here, he was really, really impressed with this because we just simply took a YouTube video where he was talking about game development and AI. And if you want to come over here, you can kind of see your keywords and entities, what's mentioned and what's not, and how to kind of optimize it. We can go to the research tab here and have different rewrite options for a brief. We can take a look at what's ranking right now, the different articles in Google, plagiarism checker, just to make sure that it is unique, and also obviously my account has the AI detector as well, so you can run it through the AI detector. Because content at scale, one of our selling points is that we write content that is it's not able to be detected by the various different AI detectors out there. And obviously we have our own AI detector as well.
Yeah, and
So
I noticed that on your site. That's obviously a very,
yeah,
very helpful tool. And I guess that brings up a question. Is AI detectability something that's important, not important? What where do you see that in
yeah, that's a really good
as
question.
yeah,
So I think it's really important in certain fields. Like for example, our AI detector is widely used by like educational institutions.
sure.
Checking if students' work is written by AI and whatnot, and that's a major case for it. In terms of like SEO and ranking, right now I don't think it's important. Google themselves have said they are not going to penalize AI content. You can see from the results that we're having with our own website, with our clients' websites, that they gain a ton of traffic. Our website's entirely powered by CAS. And AI detectors themselves right now are kind of a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
Some of them are
Yep.
too strong, some of them are too weak, some of them are saying human content is AI, and vice versa. So
Yeah.
right now it's kind of it's not
The
really a
wild,
thing.
wild west of AI
Yes,
content
for sure, the
detection.
Wild West, yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of like SEO and businesses and getting things to rank, certainly right now not important.
Great. Well, that's helpful. It gives us a good feel for how the solution works
Yeah, I
in
mean
the
that was a
real
bit quick.
world.
There's a
Yeah.
bunch of other stuff we could have done, and we could really get lost on the rabbit hole there, with like optimizing and all that kind of stuff. But
Yep.
training tones of voice and things. But just to show you how easy it is, you give it a bit of context, you give it a keyword, and voila, and you can do it again and again and again. So yeah.
Now, I guess the other question: how does the solution integrate with other tools? Are there, I know a lot of sites are. I guess 40% of the internet is based on WordPress. Is there some sort of a WordPress option
Yep,
there?
sure. So we have a native integration with WordPress, so you don't have to kind of import your content into WordPress. It will go right in, which is obviously a big help. And yeah, that's kind of like the main one. We also have a very similar integration with Shopify, e-commerce
Okay.
platform.
Yeah, a lot of people
Again,
are
so that
using Shopify.
yeah, exactly. So your content will go straight into there. We have a native integration with Copyscape, and I mean there'll definitely be others planned in the future for sure. But yeah, yeah,
Now, okay, and can a lot of the editing be done within Content at Scale, or is it done in the final platform? Or
yeah, absolutely. Be done in content and scale, and then you can publish direct to WordPress. I think that's how most people do it anyway. Yeah,
okay, so
you
really
might as
just
well take advantage of the SEO features inside the editor, and yeah.
yeah, so really and I think that's one thing we're seeing in a lot of not just in the AI industry, but a lot of industries with software as a service in general. A lot of solutions are, people are looking for a single tool that has the capacity to do more than just one function. So obviously being able to do all of that within Content at Scale is huge.
Yeah, for sure. And November the 7th, version 3 of our platform, we'll have some new kind of avenues is there as well, kind of becoming more of this all encompassing SEO tools. So Not going to
Right.
say any more
That's
on that, but yeah, November the 7th. Watch out.
well, we'll leave a link in the show notes, and anyone that's looking before November 7th, you'll see where it's at now, and obviously a lot of exciting things to come. And it sounds like it's following along with that trend of really
Yeah,
providing a full solution.
for
Although
sure.
where it's at right now is pretty amazing compared to what's out there, so that's really neat. Um, and can you give us an idea as far as the platform itself? Um, are there a wide variety of industries that are using content at scale, or is it mainly finding a home in one type of copywriting?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, with you, very, very broad. Some of our agencies are, servicing, clients in a whole bunch of different niches. We're seeing quite a lot of uptake in legal. So it seems that content at scale is very good for legal. It's a niche we're kind of carving out. Also education as well. But just really kind of broad range. We've got some pretty big customers. So it just kind of, depends, really. I wouldn't say that it's got any bias to any kind of one
Sure.
type of niche. Maybe it's better at writing different types of articles than others. You'd have to ask the customers, but yeah,
Yeah. No,
no
no,
kind of
that's fine.
niche favoritism
And
there. Yeah.
is there an example of you had mentioned a couple of different clients that are using content at scale, but maybe in a success story that you could share with us
Yeah, for
to
sure.
give people
So,
an idea?
I'll give you kind of the links to the case study section on our website. Honestly, we've got so many awesome use cases. Some of them I mentioned earlier. Like I say, Top Click Joe he started an agency when he discovered content at scale, and he's on track to do $200,000 a month now in revenue for his agency, and he literally
So
started it
how?
this year.
Yeah,
So
I mean, a good example. How would he be using the solution? What is it that he's doing with it?
yeah, so like I think his agency is providing full kind of marketing services. So that be kind of like website design and creation,
Sure.
and then obviously then content services to go with that to drive traffic, and then kind of paid ads as well to drive even more traffic to their business. So he's
Got
using
it.
content scale 100% for all his content creation, including pillar posts. He actually did a pillar posts training for us
Yeah.
and showed us how he was kind of ranking local businesses in really competitive keywords. For example, plumber in my area, and he was using
Yeah.
content scale to do these huge pillar posts, and he's getting them to rank, in the top three almost immediately, and
So
it kind
he's
of
gone
blew my
from like
mind.
0 to 100
Zero
in
to 100, yeah.
yeah.
And he's getting a ton of business now. And, you know, because he was so active with us early on and he was posting in our community and he was asking us questions and that kind of stuff, we've really helped him as well. And, we actually drove him a lot of business as well, because
Neat.
he really kind of embraced us. So, yeah, we take care of our customers for sure.
That's exciting to say. What are you seeing as far as trends in the industry? What types of trends are you seeing?
Trends in terms of AI or Google
Yeah, in terms
or
of AI.
in terms of AI, I think it's moving so fast, right? I mean, I would say about kind of 6 months ago, there wasn't half the kind of AI tools out that there is now, and I think in the next month, this is just my prediction, right?
Sure,
This is not representative of content to scale or anyone else. It's just my personal prediction. I
sure,
think within the
understood.
next kind of 12 months, you're going to see a lot of them die out, and you're going to have kind of like the cream of the crop rise up and stay there. Which definitely us for sure. Right now, there's dozens of AI writers out there who are all kind of, like I say, very similar, competing against each other, low price points, but
Right.
not too much to them, right? And I think a lot of them are going to die off. So I think it's very much going to be you'll kind of see, not just in terms of AI writers, but you'll see a lot of these AI tools go away. But that's just my personal opinion.
Sure.
Um, Probably reaching kind of market saturation or critical mass. I think AI is definitely here to stay. You'll see a lot of top kind of people in the game, well-known figures who are previously a little bit hesitant about using AI in their businesses who've now kind of turned over. I mean, even our own president, Julia, when she had her content agency, she was very much anti-AI. She found
Yeah,
content at scale and then exited, sold her agency because she just said, wow, I mean, this has changed everything, right? So I think you've got to get on board with AI. It's very much adapt or die, and don't see AI as kind of like a bad thing. Don't see AI as okay. If you're a copywriter or you're a graphic designer or you're a video editor or you're a programmer, don't think of it as it's coming to get my job. Think of it as a way. Okay, I've got to kind of learn a new way of doing things, and I can be kind of like even more of an expert now. You've got programmers now who are able to program really complicated apps thanks to the help of AI tools that they weren't able to do previously. So think of it as like an augmentation and an enhancement as opposed to the writings on the wall, because there's still a lot of AI, kind of anti-AI or AI vitriol out there, and we kind of need to get people to align with this new way of thinking. Okay, AI is here to stay. How can it help you as opposed to running away from it? Yeah.
understood. Yeah, so it's really just a mindset, and it's a new tool. Obviously, anything that's
Sure.
new is you know till it becomes clear, a little bit gray for a lot of people. So really
Yeah.
exciting. And as far as feedback, so obviously the product is on version 2, going to version 3, and
Yeah.
continually evolving. Can you talk a little bit about how you prioritize feedback from users and what gets incorporated into new versions? And is there
Yeah.
a process for that? And
Yeah, I mean there is. So we have a dedicated success team which pretty much just talks to customers, and we always take on board their feedback. It's we have um, you know, a, we use Slack internally, and we have a channel for that feedback. We also have kind of like feedback forms as well when people use our tool or when people decide not to continue using our tool, and we see why, and all that is kind of incorporated. So it's very much an ongoing process. I mean, we even have like Jeff, our director of AI. His job is pretty much to look at the quality of the output our engine is putting out. How can we improve it? And it's constantly an ongoing process. I mean, it has to be, right. We have to stay one step ahead of these AI detectors. If we're going to hold true to our claim, right? And one day they kind of make an adjustment and it detects us, and then the next day we have to make an adjustment so they're undetectable, and it's a game of cat and mouse. So we're
sure,
constantly having to kind of iterate and improve, and even more so now with version 3 when we kind of have other elements um, kind of pointing towards our AI writer. But it's not like we're at this point now and that's it. We kind of stand still. We're constantly going to be updating and improving it. And if we see anyone else kind of get ahead of us, we're going to be right back up there. So yeah.
sure. And it seems like content at scale has really hit its stride. I mean, I've been keeping an eye on you guys for a while, and obviously it started out exciting, and it's getting more exciting. So that's neat.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, so let me ask you, for a agency or a company that's looking to get started with content at scale, are there different plans, different packages? How would one decide what would be the right volume of credits and all of that? And can you
Yeah,
talk a
sure.
little bit about
So
the pricing model?
yeah, that's a good question. So our starter plan, our base plan is $250 a month, and that gives you 8 blog posts per month. Okay, so I would say that's probably suitable for one site, right? We always say 8 posts a month or 2 posts a week is kind of the sweet spot. Or that's what we want to be doing a minimum, right? And then we go all the way up to kind of our agency plan, which is $1,500 a month, and you get 100 of these blog posts there. So that brings the price right down to I think $15 per post, if my math
Sure,
is
that
right.
sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you think of it like that, right? We kind of have in the SEO world we have a saying. Unless you're spending at least $100 on a post, or alternatively at least 4 hours of your time, it's not worth publishing on your website. So if you keep that in mind, that you're making a significant saving on that, plus a significant saving on time, you really kind of start to see what the value is. Plus, the content that you're being produced has been, like I say, we've had the NLP and the semantic search analyzer. It's past the top search results of Google. So you know this content is going to rank, and you might want to edit it as well, add a bit of personal experience. So from that perspective, it's really, really cost effective. Some people, they take a look at some of the AI writers out there right now, which are basically just competing each other as a road to the bottom on price.
Right.
How cheap can we do it? Because all we're doing is sending an API call to ChatGPT, and as long as our cost for that API call is covered, we're making a profit, right? None of what is happening behind the scenes at Content at Scale is happening there. And I just want to kind of make that clear. We are for SEO agencies, copywriters, content marketers, and businesses that actually want to have organic SEO traffic to their sites. Okay. If you want to cheap out and just get something produced by ChatGPT, come back in 3 or 6 months and we'll see what's ranking and what's not.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, as well as I do, just as Justin and everyone else on the team knows, one quality ranking can really set a business on fire, and
it can.
Yeah, so obviously the you want to plant a bunch of seeds, and if you've got the right type of seed, this is really the way to go.
Yeah, for sure. And even if you're even if you're not planning to use it for yourself, even if you run an agency or want to start an agency, again, it's you come up with your own offers, right? You might want to offer, SEO packages, and you might want to charge clients, $2 or $3 or $4 or even $5,000 a month, okay? And you can have content at scale at the heart of that. So you're already kind of, getting a cost-effective post, a time-effective post, but then you make an extra profit on top of that, depending on what, you price your services at. So, yeah.
Sure. So there's a lot of different ways that the solution could be used. It could be starting really augmenting your existing agency, starting a new agency, using it for your own company. So just a whole variety of different use cases. And for customers that are signing up through the link that we'll leave in the notes, is there any additional bonus or special offering that's happening now?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So if you sign up through the link that Michael provides, we've negotiated a deal with him. And anyone who signs up through Michael's link, you will receive an extra 20% additional bonus credits every single month for the duration of your subscriptions. That's essentially 20% extra credits onto your account simply by signing through Michael's link.
Wow, that's very powerful. So we'll leave that softwareoasis.com link in the show notes.
Yep.
And we're really excited to see what's coming out in version 3.0. So we'll probably have to follow up for another podcast edition of the Software Spotlight. But really appreciate your taking the time out today to join us and give us a good overview of the solution. That's fantastic. So.
Yep.
With us from Content at Scale, we've had Steve Harvey, and coming up on our next episode, we have Daniel Burke from Beehive. They have a newsletter platform that's built for growth.
We like Beehive a lot. We're partners with them. Yeah.
You're familiar with the team, and it's actually the same team that created the Morning Brew newsletter. So Beehive has some exciting technology there.
Yeah, we like Beehive a lot. We partnered up with them on, I think it was a co-video promotion or something like that. But yeah, Beehive's great. We use it for one of our own newsletters. Our director of AI, Jeff, has an AI newsletter called AI Curious, and that is powered by Beehive.
Fantastic. Well, there you go. Great plug for those guys, and really exciting technology. So we're looking forward to that newsletter. And I think they really have what could be the next Facebook of advertising for newsletters. So a lot of different technologies built into that platform to monetize a newsletter. So hey, thank you so much, Steve, for joining us today, and we will make sure to get that off into our next podcast episode, along with the link for any listeners that are looking to sign up for Content at Scale.
Brilliant. Thanks for having me on.
Okay.